I'm here with my fiance, Michelle, and today we'll be teaching everyone how to make dumplings. We'll be going through the ingredients that you need, the utensils you need, the different steps on how to make the filling, how to wrap the dumplings, and then we'll cook some and enjoy some as well. So let me go through the ingredients real quick here. Different parts of ingredients. So first thing you need is a package of dumpling wrappers. So we got some wrappers here. You can see that. So you can either buy Sugao or pot sticker wrappers. The pot sticker wrappers are a little thicker, so you can try different ones and see which one work best for you. And there's about 60 to 70 in each pack, so that's how you can you know how many that you're making. The other part of the ingredients is a 1-to-1 ratio of ground pork and raw shrimp. So we have a lot here. This is probably like at least 3 to 4 pounds each. But as a ratio with the one package of your dumpling wrappers, you'll need 1 pound of ground pork and 1 pound of shrimp as well. Now you need some seasonings here. You have 2 to 3 cloves of grated or pressed garlic, 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 to 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, and 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. And then other part of seasoning, a tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 to 2 teaspoons of white pepper powder, 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of ginger powder, and 1 large egg. And there's some optional seasonings you can do as well. So you can do an eighth of a teaspoon, very little of Maggi sauce, and you can also add a 1/4 teaspoon of fish sauce as well.
Yep. And then just so you know, you probably want to customize to your preferences. So best thing you do is to just microwave a little tiny spoonful of that meat and taste it. See if you want to adjust it accordingly, and then you go from there. I like to add the Maggi and also the fish sauce that adds a little bit more umami flavor to it, but you can adjust it however you like.
You can also add some optional veggies. You can do chopped cabbage, green onions, ginger, carrots, shiitake mushrooms, cilantro. I mean, there's no really hard rule of what you can put in dumplings. So here we have a veggie version as well. So, all right, some utensils that you need. So as you saw, we have a large mixing bowl. So that's where you put your filling. You can use a food processor. This is optional, but it will save you a lot of time, especially when you want to chop all those veggies, you want to chop all the shrimp that you have. A small bowl of water for wrapping here. You can use a small spoon, so this will help you with your filling when you're wrapping dumplings. We also have baking trays that we can use. So this is where we're going to put the dumplings. We made some already. This is a good way for you to store them, right? Because as I said, you can freeze them. And finally, to cook them, you need a 10 to 12 inch saucepan with a lid. The first step here, you have the raw shrimp, you have your veggies, you chop it up, and you can use a food processor to save you time.
I would also note when you're chopping the shrimp, do a rough chop. You don't want it to mince it up into a paste because you can't really taste the difference between the shrimp and the pork. So if you like those chunky pieces of shrimp, just do a rough chop and then throw it into the ground pork.
Okay, next you take the ground pork that you have and the chopped up shrimp, the chopped up veggies, just mix it up in a mixing bowl. So just like what we have here. And then you add the seasonings. We had the long list of seasonings earlier. Again, you figure out what type of taste you want in yours. And if you're just unsure of is it too salty, is it too sweet, or whatever, just take a small spoonful, microwave it for 10, 15 seconds, and just try it, right? If it's missing something, that's a great way for you to test your filling before you make the whole batch. We're going to wrap the dumplings here. So first you place the dumpling wrapper in one hand. So step 2 and 3, you can interchange it here. So let me go to step 3 here first. So you place about a 1/2 to 3/4 spoonful of filling. You don't want to add too much because then you just can't close the dumpling. So after you put in the filling, so now you dip your finger in the bowl of water and you wet around the edge, right? So by putting water on there, again, you don't want too much, right? Just a little fingertip. This will help stick the wrapper. So the first thing you do to wrap it, you fold the dumpling in half. So you take the 2 parts in the middle, and then you can see right there it's pinched in the middle. And then now you want to start making pleats. So you want to put some water on the edges, just like you can kind of see in the camera here. And then you want to start folding towards the center. So you make little pleats here and there. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then you repeat that again on the other side. You make the 3 pleats. Again, you don't want to put way too much, right? Keep it. If you're starting out, just don't put too much filling into your dumpling wrapper because you just can't fold it. So there you go. That's one right there. Good. So now you just ensure all your folds are tight.
Make sure there's no gaps because when you cook it, if there's any holes, all that moisture inside is going to seep out and spill all over the pan. It gets really messy. So just make sure it's tight. You pinch, pinch, pinch. Add some water to it. That way it holds it. If you feel like you've put too much filling in it, you can definitely take some out as you're wrapping.
Yep.
So fold it like a taco.
Yep. Then we go back here. Yep.
Pinch the middle, so it looks like that.
Yep.
Right. Make sure there's some water on the outside edges before you fold your plates. Not too much water because you don't want to be soaking in water. And you fold in once, twice, 3 times. Pinch it to close it. Same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3.
So you just place them on a baking sheet here. We made some earlier, and again, make sure they don't stick to each other. You can see there's a gap in between each one because when you freeze them, you don't want them all stuck together, right? When you cook them, you want to lay them out separately. And yeah, if you're not going to eat them immediately, once you're done with the tray, just put it in the freezer, and it will last you for a while. So if you're ready to go, you wanna start cooking?
Yeah. One little tip also: when you line your baking sheet, use either Saran wrap or parchment paper.
Mhm.
That way, the dumplings don't stick to the pan either.
Yes.
So after you freeze and you take it out, and you want to bag them up. It just comes off a lot easier.
Mhm.
All right.
So let's move over to the cooking station here. So first step here, turn your pan up to medium heat.
Medium to medium low.
Yeah. So,
And you can use any kind of oil. We'll just use vegetable oil because it's easy. But you can use olive oil, avocado oil, whatever works for you.
So next step is you add some oil to the pan here.
When you place them in the pan, just make sure they're not sticking to each other. Keep them about an inch or so apart.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you're ready, once your pan's warm enough, you just start placing your dumplings. The key is you want to place it flat side down, right? You want to, as the name calls it, for if you're making pot stickers, they stick to the pot. You want the bottom surface. So when you make it, make sure the bottom is smooth, it's flat, and then you lay it down flat as well. All right, so the next step here is once the bottom of the dumplings are brown, you add a quart of water. So right now, we just put it down. We'll let it brown for a minute or so, and then we add a quarter cup of water.
Just let it go for a little bit. This takes about, I would say, 60 to 90 seconds. As long as each one has a little bit of oil coated on it, should be able to get a nice quick bottom. I think that's a good looking brown right there. So I think if all of them look okay.
So you add your quarter cup of water here.
And watch out, it'll sizzle. Just take a step back. And cover it and turn your stove to low while the water's in there.
Yeah, so now we just browned the bottom, right? So now, because we had raw meat in there, you want to make sure it cooks thoroughly. So for fresh dumplings like we just did, it takes about 7 to 8 minutes to cook. If it's frozen, it'll take about 9 to 10 minutes here. Yep. So you can see all the water's evaporated. We just took off the lid. You can see some browning over there as well. So we'll just turn off the heat here, and then we'll plate it and we'll enjoy your dumplings. I mean, you already put a bunch of seasoning in there. It's up to you if you want to dip it with your favorite soy sauce, sesame oil, vinegar, chili oil, or anything you need. But we put in a lot of seasoning already, so it should be very delicious here.
Dumpling cheers!
Oh,
Woo!
Wow, shrimp in here.
You see the shrimp?
Oh, where are you? There you are.
You see the chunks of shrimp? That's goodness right there.
Anything else you want to share?
No, just have fun with this. Like I said, you can customize the seasoning, flavoring, ingredients, however you like. We like it pretty simple. We also did one with vegetables with some cabbage. What was it? Carrots, garlic, ginger, and some shiitake mushrooms. That's a really good favorite. Adding vegetables stretches your ingredients a bit more, so you don't have to use so much meat, and then you can still make a big amount of dumplings. So just have fun with it. Try it a few times, taste test it, adjust it however you like, and yeah, enjoy.
Yep. Hope you all enjoyed, first of all, my LinkedIn Live series, and thank you, Michelle, for joining me. Sorry, I should finish chewing my food. Thank you for joining my 52nd, my very last LinkedIn Live of the year. Completed my 52-week challenge of doing LinkedIn Lives. So
good job.
Yes. 52-week challenge is done. This has just been so much fun, and I'm glad I got to do the very last one with my fiance here.
Yay.
So.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays.
New Year.
Yep, Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you all next year.